these guys do is they kind of do this. Hey, you can write any number in that box and you could say refund, or I have an expense, or, how much tax do I owe? 0. So give me a refund for the rest. You can do that. That's a crime. And then you get the money back and you can hold a big stack of cash, and there's not cash that's non-taxable and cash that is. That's not a thing. When we start about 12, I forget what the section is.
Like 12, 4, 11. Yeah.
That you're talking about, that's currency. We're talking about types of currencies and things like that. We're not talking about taxation. I don't care whether it's Bitcoin or I pay you in chickens. It's taxable. If there's something of value that's been transferred, the Supreme Court's been unequivocal about that. There's not a single case that a taxpayer has ever won where they said, what you paid me in legal tender and it doesn't qualify, or it was reserve notes and that doesn't qualify. You need only gold, or you paid me in gold, so it wasn't in legal tender. Like, they do all these weird arguments and then everybody goes to jail. So it's one of those weird things. And then people follow them. I don't understand this. Like, there's folks that have done this that have been prosecuted and go to jail as a result. And then somebody will see that and think, hey, you know what? I should promote that again, because they just didn't argue it right.
Yeah, they didn't do it right. Yeah. I can't remember the name, but I think there was someone from Michigan that had this whole movement that they were teaching people how to do that. And they actually went to jail, and then they became almost, kind of like a martyr kind of deal, where people would be like, rebelling. I've also seen there's a trend right now. I think it's a joke, but I think it's becoming less of a joke, where people are just like, why don't you pay your taxes? Like, if we all stop paying our taxes, it's kind of like the Tea Party concept. It is just interesting to see like what people are saying. And this person makes the claim that they haven't paid taxes since 2020. And I imagine that they're helping lots of people do this. Number one, how is the IRS how have they not flagged this already? Like, shouldn't it be an automatic flag, or is it because there's so many things in the system? Like, is it common that people can get away with this for years and years and years? Because that's part of credibility that they're using, is the years and all the money. And so I'm just wondering, when does this usually get, sniffed out? And when does it, what's the saying, like the chicken comes home to roost? Like, when does it usually get blown up?
When the IRS finally sees it and it gets referred to CID. Okay. So a very small number of people, it's like 0.2% get audited. It's a very low amount. And if I don't file, they would have to have somebody report something that triggers, and then they might send you, here's what we think your return should be. In this case, this guy's saying, hey, let's file your return and we're just going to claim a refund for everything. We're going to say, hey, we have I can't remember if it was a deduction or he's just filling in, your taxes owed is 0. And so he's claiming some massive deduction. Well, okay, so they just haven't come across it yet. There's millions, tens of millions, over 100 million taxpayers, right? And there's all these tax forms. Eventually, the percentages are going to catch up. Some of these folks, I've had them come into my office and they'll be like, I haven't paid taxes in 20 years. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of bank robbers that got away with it too. There's a lot of people that have committed all sorts of crimes and didn't get caught. Eventually, usually it catches up. And especially if you're posting TikTok videos of yourself advocating the breaking of laws, then eventually it'll come around and there'll be a time for him. But there's so many. There was one, and I'm trying to remember the name. And I think it might be the one you're talking about, where he didn't believe that you were supposed to pay taxes. It was this whole kind of this voluntary thing.
Yeah, it was unconstitutional. I think his argument is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name, but the gentleman ended up getting cancer in prison and passing away. And because of the federal system, he was still being chained to the hospital bed. And like towards the end, and they were like, see, he's a martyr. They killed him. And it's like, you're a federal felon.
Yeah.
And you had a whole bunch of people follow this. And it may be you may honestly believe it. It doesn't mean that it's not a crime. Like I can honestly believe that it's okay for me to hit you, and then I have a right to hit you. But society says, no, physical contact causing harm, this is a crime. And it doesn't matter, hey, did I mean to break the law? No, I meant to hit you. And that's a crime. So when I don't pay my taxes and I come up with some cockamamie idea, I may honestly believe it. It's still a crime.
Yeah. What would you say to the person that might be watching this that has done this in the past, might be years of not paying their taxes? Like, how do you unwind that? And if that's for a different video, I'm just curious, like, where do you even begin if you're watching this and kind of saying like, oh man, I was deceived or I need to get this thing unwound.